this ensures inclusive economic growth with sound economic logic. In 1994, he authored the bestseller Competing for the Future, which was translated into 14 languages and named as the best-selling business book for the year. He has won numerous awards. The most recent include the McKinsey Prize and the SMR PwC Award. Professor Prahlad has been globally credited with having redefined the constructive spaces for competition, cooperation, and corporate core skills, resulting in rich business insights which have helped companies to derive the best possible returns for the shareholder. He advocates companies to go beyond pursuing incremental advantages over rivals and focus instead on reinventing the industrial landscape. Professor C.K. Prahlad is a global thought leader of great stature who has redefined thinking about management and strategy in a way which may yet bring dignity and voice to the hitherto marginalized millions and usher in a more peaceful and equitable world order. I would request Dr. Abid Hussain to please present the third ILM Distinguished Global Thinker Award for 2008. I would request Professor B. Bhattacharya, Director General ILM, to kindly present the shawl.
First, let me tell you how deeply honored and humbled I am by your recognition. And I'm so delighted to have a dear friend, Dr. Abid Hussain, take the time to come here and also to introduce me. And I'm grateful to ILM and to Mr. Rajan for doing me the honor. And I have to tell you that I told them yesterday, give me the award first before I speak. Because at the end of my speech, you may want to take it away. So, and they were kind enough to agree. So here I am. It gives me the chance to say what I want to say. What I like to do is to really spend some time with you, raising a point of view on how do you democratize commerce. If you really think about it, the last century was about democratizing politics, getting people the share of voice in the way they are governed. We know the world is not perfect. It is still work in process. But as that idea of democracy takes roots around the world, it's time for us to ask the question, what is the next challenge? Because it takes generations to get this done around the world in a sensible fashion. And what I've been spending some time is asking the question, how do we get economic power, economic access, economic opportunities for everybody around the world? And I just called it democratizing commerce. And I believe that we have to start with India because that is where the big challenge is. And it's the challenge for not only India, but all countries in the world, including the United States. There are 40 to 45 million people there who are also disenfranchised from participating fully in the economic activities of the country. So when we start asking this question, it is typical across the world, especially among intellectuals, to ask the question, is globalization good or bad for the poor? I want to start by suggesting how we frame the question determines the answer that we get. I think this is the wrong question. The moment you say, is it good or bad for the poor, you're going to polarize the group, any group that you take. I've done this in front of students or executives, and I'm sure here, senior public policy makers and politicians. You're going to get two camps, one saying, yes, it is good, others saying it's bad. I think we ought to reframe the question. I believe globalization is like gravity. Don't deny gravity, but defy gravity. Build a plan. Make globalization work for everybody. So my starting point is a very different one. I don't ask the question, is it good or bad? I ask the question, how to make it work for the benefit of all. If you ask that question, maybe there is an answer on how to make it work for everybody. So I started by saying, can we start with a very simple premise on what democratizing commerce means and what it can mean. I believe that every person must have the right and must have access to the benefits of the global economy. That should almost become a fundamental right. And if you treat it as a fundamental right, there are only two ways in which we can do it. One is to treat every person as a consumer. I use the word consumer very decidedly because consumers have choice, consumers have dignity, consumers are respected. Therefore, I want every person to be a consumer. That means we have to create affordable products and services for all 6 billion people to enjoy the benefits of globalization. But more importantly, and I'll come back to this, we should not have the right to tell people what they should consume and how they should consume it. Every person, just like you and me, must have the right to make a choice. That is equally fundamental. Therefore, I say two elements of treating all people as consumers, give them choice